The following program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption.
Today's broadcast is being simulcast in broken English.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world.
Welcome to the show that we're doing right now.
What the hell are we doing on this show?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Let's go.
What is this?
Giggity, 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 goo.
Who else but
The Q.
it's showtime? Gentlemen, let's get down to business.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah, I can dig it, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the QNow. You're listening to the best pop culture, current events, current affairs show east or west of that Mississippi River, hailing from the great city of St. Louis and worldwide at the QNow.com. I am your host, Mark Bland, as I have been for now. Well, shoot. Jason?
Yes.
You've been on the show for how many years now?
7.
7 years yourself.
7.
And you started in, what was that, 2016?
16.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the Trump election. That's
Yeah.
right. So, and I started this show in 2010. So, was that 13 years? 14?
Half of it.
Somewhere like that. 13 years. I've been your host for 13 years here on the show. Started the same way every single show, except for maybe the first 2. I don't think I had my my little trademark come in on the first 2 shows. But that's Jason Call over there. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a action-packed show for you here on KYRO, Fox News Radio KYRO. And that's newsradiokyro.com every single Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. But we're also on WIBH, coming to you guys from that amazing station.
Hello, Illinois.
Every morning at 7 to 9 a.m. So that's you guys. You're getting the early show today. Yeah. That's what you are doing. So Jenna Roberson. Jenna Roberson is here to discuss politics and running for state Congress in Missouri. That's a question I usually ask off the air. But unfortunately, we had already started the show.
Yeah,
so.
I had already called her Roberson in my head.
Yeah, you already called her, but it's Roberson.
I know.
You got to make sure that it's like you're robbing a house. Got it? Okay. Kevin McCarthy gives up the gavel against his will, and it seems Trump just started his trials the way he handles politics, talking smack on everyone around him. We're going to get to all of that, but first, let us welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, you've already heard her voice once, but here she is again, Jenna Roberson. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited.
First off, we don't have a lot of females to come on the show. We've only had like a handful over the years. We were just talking about like 13 years, and I've probably only had 4 or 5 women ever on the show, different women. And one of them was here with, we were talking about...
School board
Chad. We were talking about Chad. His brother, BJ Lang, had been on the show with his girlfriend once. So I had, one of them was with her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Michael brought his wife.
That's true. Michael brought his wife, but she wasn't on the air, was she?
No, she just...
she did. No, did she come on the air for a little bit? I can't remember.
She said something.
I think she might have said something.
She was eyeballing me.
We kept asking her. We were going to ask her questions. So. Well, we're also going to do that with Jenna too. We got the hot seat.
That's right.
We have the hot seat first timer here. So we've got a lot to talk about and to talk to you about. But before all of that happens, tonight is going to be a scary night in our lives, Jenna. Do you know why?
Why? Because
me and our friend Jason over here, we have to go to the Field of Nightmares. Ooh. Brought to us by Brookdale Farms in Eureka, Missouri. And we're going to be going down there with our families, and we're going to check out the haunted house and hopefully leave with no streaks in our underwear.
I'm just not going to wear underwear.
You're just not going to wear underwear?
Yeah. They think they're going to scare me. Just wait.
Think about this. Think about how uptight people with bow ties are, like Tucker Carlson and them, and how they were the kings of Fox News.
Patrick McHenry.
We're sitting here right now talking about streaks in our underwear, right? Bacon strips in our underwear, and we're on Fox News. We're like on the same network doing this. Like that's how good we are at what we do politically.
Well, normally when people say something about underwear and a Fox News station, it's usually in a harassing tone and behind the scenes and costs them millions of dollars.
The Field of Nightmares if you're living around St. Louis, is a great new little haunted attraction to take your family out to. Plus, Brookdale's known for the family-friendly events throughout the year, so they put in the effort on the family side of things. Yet as the night goes on, it gets scarier. So I don't know. I don't know if Jason can handle this.
I hate haunted house. My daughter makes me go, and it's like a nightmare, but you're awake.
Wait, your daughter makes you go to haunted houses?
Yeah, I've like the last 2 or 3 years. The Cottleville one.
Oh, the haunted trail?
Yes.
I have,
I haven't had it in a trail for a while, but
I have been wanting to go to the Cottleville one since the last time I went, which was the haunted trail, and this was like 2017.
Yeah, it's been
my son was pretty young. He was like 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5 at the most.
Yeah, the trail one was really cool when it was at the whatever that area is where
they're behind the park.
Yeah, where their
City
Hall is.
Well, anyway, that's what we're going to be doing tonight, Jay. So I hopefully bring an extra pair. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, you're not going to wear any at all. You're just going to put it on.
I'm going to wear
Jenna
some Adidas like workout pants and.
Okay.
We're going
white ones too, right?
Of course.
All right, Jenna, are you are you into the Halloween season? Are you a haunted house Halloween-y type of person? We are into the month of October now. At the end of this month is the annual October 31st Halloween night that everyone loves and sees in the stores for months on end. I guess it's now after we get Christmas. Christmas decorations start in July, right?
Right.
And then Halloween shows up around September, maybe for like a half a month, and is gone.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Just double check it. Are you a Halloween person?
I am. It's actually my favorite holiday because
it's your favorite holiday.
My favorite holiday.
It's my wife's as well.
And don't be afraid to talk to that mic. Talk up to that mic. Tell that mic what's up. If you're going to be a state representative in Congress for the state of Missouri, HD 63, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir. Wentzville.
You are now. Do you have an opponent? Is the incumbent? Who's the incumbent, or what's the situation?
We have an incumbent. We ran against each other last cycle.
Okay.
And she is the incumbent. Her name is Trisha Burns.
Okay.
And I'm assuming she will be running again. I will be running again. I have no news of any primary.
Trisha is the current holder of the title, as you would say.
Correct, sir.
And are we friends with the Trishas?
I am not.
You are not friends with the Trishas. That's okay. That's okay.
I am not.
We're not saying negative things about Trisha. We're just saying that you're not, typically friends with her. You don't know her personally like that.
Some state holders don't like me either.
Like Nick Schroer.
Nick Schroer
does not like you at all.
Yeah,
Nick Schroer won't block me, and I talk mad ass on him. Dude. I talk mad ass, like big time.
I only got the block from Onder, just like everybody else.
I've never been blocked by Onder either. Listen. Only even Dinesh hasn't blocked me.
No,
I only get big dogs like Tucker, Bongino.
Bongino got me.
I get
as well.
Bongino.
Yeah.
I get all the big dogs.
Yeah,
I never get the
that.
small cats.
Yeah.
That's funny though. You would think that the small cats.
Those alpha males really like that block button. Don't
Elon
They
did,
sure
but then he
do.
undid.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
He undid.
I have a ton of blocks. I have a ton of blocks.
He blocks. I only mute. I mute.
Listen. You can mute all you want.
Yeah.
I block because I learned from. What was his name? It's not Dinesh D'Souza. The one thing that I did learn from Dinesh D'Souza was only respond one time to a person. Don't get into a conversation or a thread with anyone in politics when you are the focal point or you are a popular political figure like I do on Twitter. So how popular people are when they come to me. When I still had my check mark, when things were normal. Back in the day, when you were when you were a celebrity because you were a celebrity. Yeah, okay.
I used to have a blue check mark. Unfortunately, Elon took it away.
Elon took yours away too?
Took mine away. I refused to pay for it.
I didn't even pay. I'm talking about 2011 or whatever year it was, way back in the back. Yeah. I got this thing, and I didn't even realize it until I woke up one day, and it was just there, and I knew what it was, and I was like, I don't know why. Because I had already been doing this show for years. I hadn't really made a bigger wave or less bigger wave than I ever had the week before that or anything. So it was confusing to me, but I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, speaking of Eli, did you see a couple weeks ago that outfit he wore to the border?
With the backwards cowboy hat on? Yeah, he's a genius. He's a genius.
He looked like an extra in
Absolute
Yellowstone.
Genius, yes.
If Yellowstone was terrible and on Tubi.
No, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I have to say about Elon Musk and that whole situation, because we didn't talk about that last week. When you go to a border crossing, that has people streaming across it.
Yeah, you just
literally while you have people flying drones to take footage for you of the situation for your X, so that you could be live on your X video platform and your Twitter this, X that, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. Right. Okay.
It's Twitter. Like, it will always be Riverport.
That's right. That's right. There it is.
Exactly
there
right. It is Riverport.
And it's always the TWA Dome. I don't care how many names it's been changed to.
Okay, it could be TWA. It's TWA Dome.
That would be more
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I always call it Scott Trade Center. I never say Enterprise. I always call it Scott Trade Center. I felt like I had it for Scott Trade longer than anything else.
I think I had Keel, but I don't even know if that's the same.
The Keel was the original. No, that was the original name.
The first time I ever went to anything there was Keel.
Oh, we're showing our age now, aren't we?
We are showing our age now, guys. We are showing our age now. So Halloween is your favorite, you now. Are we big into like the holiday for the sake of the holiday? Are we into horror movies and the horror side of things? Are we into like the events around it and fall? Like, what brings Halloween to you? Like, what is it? Because I love the leaves falling and the colors from fall for my Halloween.
He loves horror movies though.
But I'm a huge horror movie fan.
I do love horror movies. I grew up with horror movies. One of the biggest memories I have from my childhood is that my parents take us to Blockbuster on Friday nights, right?
It's fun stuff.
And we'd end up renting like all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, all the Halloweens. I'm in love with Michael Myers. He will make me poo my pants.
Now, Jenna, where do we grow up? Where do we grow up?
Hazelwood.
So you're from the North County region, like I am. So
moved out here about 15 to O'Fallon.
Did you go to high school out there?
I went to Hazelwood West, 7th, 8th, and half of 9th because it used to be 7th through 12th in one building.
Oh, I remember.
Okay. Yeah. And then we moved out here. I started my second semester freshman year at Fort Zumwalt South, and that's where I graduated in 2000.
Okay. All right. So you're within range of our age. Jay's a little older than all of us.
I am.
There's me at 47, and, from there. We don't need to get into it. People can try to figure out your age. They can just try to figure it out.
I'll be 42 in November.
All right, fair enough.
I don't have any problem with saying
that. Some women do. They just don't want to. That's up to them.
I understand.
Here's the situation. Jenna's here because she is running against Trisha.
Yes.
And she's running for House District 63, as we stated, where Trisha Burns, you said, is the incumbent currently.
Yes.
And while I'm here already, usually I get into our first topic. But I'm kind of like interested. What brings you to the Halloween again? What was it? So just you said Hazelwood. You grew up in Hazelwood.
I did.
You're up in North County, so you're doing the Blockbuster on Friday nights. All the Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
Right. All the Exorcists. I remember seeing Friday the 13th Part 8 in theaters. I was probably 7 or 8 then. My parents always were very permissive of letting us watch horror movies because they loved it. So I grew up with that. We always really liked Halloween. This was back in the day.
That's how the Villas get down over in Villa Cecile, Villa Angela, Villa all the villas.
It is, right? And you carried a pillowcase. No one drove you around. You walked up and down the street. There's none of this car traveling stuff.
Plastic.
Yeah. And you came home and we exchanged costumes and went out again. And we always knew which house had the full-size candy bars, right? So that's my contribution.
Fair enough.
I'm always the full-size candy bar.
So you're into the night. You're into the actual event of Halloween. You love that aspect.
I do. I love the bonfire and the flip-flops and hoodie weather.
Sure.
I love the football. I love the smell of burning wood.
Okay.
I really get into costumes. You'll get me to almost any event if there's a theme. I really enjoy doing that. I don't know why.
So you get into costumes.
I really do. Yes.
Okay. So
I would try to win contests.
Couple of things here. One of my favorite. So me and my wife moved to Hazelwood. I grew up in Florissant, went to McClure North, graduated there in the mid-'90s, early 90s. We moved to Hazelwood in the Villas, specifically, back in 2007. And we were there until 2015 when we moved to our current house that we have. And so with that, my first time ever being blown away. Now, I have all these North County Florissant Halloweens that I grew up with in the 80s and all this, right? So I have the same memories you do at just an older age. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I will say is that until I moved to Hazelwood for that street and that neighborhood and that Halloween, I don't think that I had really truly experienced how a Halloween should feel and go. Now, we always had a ton of people walking around our neighborhoods when we were growing up, but like, this was, dude, I had the fire truck from the fire department, Robertson Fire Department, literally driving down the middle of the street like the Pied Piper of candy, throwing Tootsie Rolls off the back of it, going up it, and literally a crowd of 50 to 60 kids and parents and everything walking behind it the entire way, just running house to house as they're walking behind, getting all of this off the back of the truck, getting all of this from the houses as they walk past them, hitting both sides of the street. It was nuts, dude. Like we ran out of candy in the first 25 minutes. Like literally ran out, and we thought we had done well. We had bought like 275 packs or whatever, and we had them in one big bowl, and we were like, yeah, these are gone. No, dude, there were 3 waves, and there was a last wave that came in at like 9:15. It was so many kids. Blew my mind. That is a Hazelwood Halloween memory, ma'am.
You lived over there on the Villas, Garrett. That's where I went to elementary school. I lived on Rose Blossom. We actually used to be unincorporated.
My daughter went
to go back to BMAC Park and Pruitt Farm and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
All that area back there. Oh yeah.
My daughter
had a cannon.
That's true. He did. He had a cannon.
All right.
My daughter, she went to Garrett. So she did her kindergarten year at Garrett.
Oh, fantastic. Greyhounds, yay.
Then we moved. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on the QNow. When we come back, more with Jenna Roberson. Sorry, darn it.
It's me. I did it.
Why did you do that,
Because I put it in your head.
I'm sorry.
I told you. I was calling her that the whole way here.
Roberson. Okay, we'll be back right after this, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel tears welling up cold and deep inside like my heart sprung a big break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the QNow. Mark Bland, of course, sitting here talking to you today with Jenna Roberson. That's right, Jenna Roberson, along with Jason Cole, that guy. Don't put it in my head anymore, Jay.
I guess he's okay, too.
No, Jay just does things like that just to be, like, I would say, obstinate. Like, that's Jay's thing, being obstinate, right? You were saying off the air you're a pretty honest, direct, blunt person.
Yes.
And I think that that's important when you're trying to run for a political position of any sort. I think it's important that you have a directness with the people. I also know that can kind of come off abrasive at times.
Absolutely.
How does that play for you as you move forward in your campaigning and introducing yourself to people that might not know you? They might not know your bluntness. Kind of like me, I have to deal with these same different things. So I'm curious to hear like how you approach them in comparison to how I approach them. Jay's quiet. He doesn't. Jay leaves everybody alone, except online.
Yep.
Online, he is a problem. He is a massive issue. Like, you and me are not getting in Facebook jail ever. This dude's in Facebook jail 24/7, 365.
I'm like a Dexter for trolls.
Literally, a Dexter for trolls. For real. Like, he's the troll who goes after the other trolls.
Everybody plays their part.
That's true.
Something like that. That's what I think. But so how do you handle that?
A lot of it is I have learned, since this is my second time running and also took me 40 years to kind of learn this skill, that while my bluntness is appreciated, it usually takes a minute for people to get to know me to understand that it's not meant in any sort of abrasive or offensive way.
Sure.
I'm a rip the Band-Aid off kind of person.
Got it.
My most valuable asset is my time. Therefore, I try to be as straightforward with no BS or I have a thing with nuance.
Well, you can always make more money, but you can never make more time.
Exactly. And I have a thing with nuance. I understand why it exists, but for me, I have always found it to be
shadows for no reason.
Sugar-coating, feeling saving. I don't actually want to have to confront the actual issue with you.
Don't have what we call a bedside manner.
No, I have been called the designated
B word?
No. Well, I mean, maybe
you've never been called the B word?
Well,
my goodness.
No, I'm sure I have been called worse than that. But no, usually I'm the designated a-hole.
Okay.
If we're in any situation, it's not just in politics. It's been that way probably most of my life. I've walked in to meet friends at a bar or restaurant and someone's bothering them or there's a problem with the service. I walk up and I'm like, hey, tell Jenna, she'll say something. I'm like, what am I saying? Right? Let me make sure you're right. Because
well, you know, that's a dangerous thing, though. That's a dangerous thing because, you do get the how should I say this? You get not the attitude, but you get this thing placed upon you as the person who is willing to battle the demons. Like, you're willing to fight the good fight in people's eyes. And if they know that, they'll let you handle the fighting of the good fight. The problem is sometimes it's not your battle that they want you to jump in on. So you're like, wait, what am I talking about? Because For a person to be like me and you, they have to feel convicted in what they are saying and what they are doing. If there's no conviction, there's the nuance again. If there's no conviction, there's no value.
Right.
So if there's no value, it's all nuance. It's worthless. It doesn't have it. I have to have something I can grab onto and go, this right here, this piece of proof is in your face. This is why a Donald Trump is really difficult for people like me and you to deal with.
Extremely.
Because they are not on the same, like, it's maddening for a guy like Jay, but the kind of people me and you are, Jenna, we're the loudmouths in a group of people. We don't mind being the loudmouths in a group of people. We also know that we're the loudmouths.
Right.
So we'll get quiet when we need to get quiet. We know when also to jump our mouths up. So Jay's not like that, and I love him. I love him for that.
I can appreciate that. Sometimes you need to know when it's your fight. Sometimes you don't. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is do nothing or say nothing and recognize the situation as far as, is this fruitful for me to be that person to raise this issue?
We call that reading a room.
Exactly. Yeah. Or am I just amplifying and nudging people on into this already emotionally sensitive situation or topic? Like, are you hurt?
Are you being Kevin McCarthy?
Yeah, like, are you hurt or are you
literally
injured?
being Kevin McCarthy?
Yeah, is this bad or your feelings hurt,
online,
right? You know, and that's okay, but I'm not, I can only take so many battle wounds, and I only have so much stamina, and I can't take on every situation. I can't always be that person. I can't always be the only voice, right? I shouldn't have to be.
There should also be other voices that also amplify your voice.
True.
If you're ever online,
welcome to the QNow. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it.
In a fight, you put up the bat signal, I'll be running. I'll be there.
You'll be there.
That's
You'll be handling it
I love
like
the bat signal.
you put that up, I'm there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
bat signal. I just go in and people see me, they go for it. They're like, all right, I'm going to back you up. I'm like, thanks, I don't need it, but it's appreciated.
That's a perfect transition, Jason, to our first topic. Kevin McCarthy. He did not have a bat signal. Kevin McCarthy lost his position as the Speaker of the House.
And then blamed it on the wrong people.
He was voted out when 8 Republicans broke ranks and decided to vote with the Democrats to take him out. Matt Gaetz being the most vocal of those people, which is fine.
I get it.
But let's be honest, guys.
Taken out by a human potato.
Let's talk about this. McCarthy was only able to keep that government open with the help of the Democrats. I mean,
and then
it was a real brilliant move on his part to then go on TV a few days later, throw them under the bus just before he needed their help again to stay in office. Like, I don't...
Every Democrat voted for that bill, and 90 Republicans voted against it. And he goes on the Sunday show and says, Democrats tried to shut the government down.
Oh, have you lived in Missouri long? Because that's what happens. We have
Well, no. We understand
they're
why.
in charge, and they blame us for everything, and it's their decisions.
Oh, well, Nick Schroer will literally just go, liberals are doing it right now.
Yeah.
They're just there. They're just there. They did it.
He doesn't do anything.
You don't even have to, say, specific details of what they're talking about. He'll just go, oh, yeah, liberals are doing it right now.
He's just a walking soundbite. I got to be honest with you.
He's not even a sound. No, he's not even a soundbite, guys. Guys, you're really giving. Listen. We're talking about some really marginal individuals, people that are really not that well known. Now you're like, but Mark, you're talking about them on your show. Okay. We happen to live and work around these individuals on a very close proximity where we live in the St. Louis area. So it's obvious that we're going to interact with certain aspects. And I understand it. It's a red state. All the red guys want to feel like they're important. Like Jenna brought up earlier, there's the whole alpha male kind of whatever. And it's like, yeah, but your T-shirts never jump off your back because you get treaded on every time, right? Like the T-shirts never get off the back. The snake never fights anyone for them. Then they just take the shirt and wipe the blood off their forehead.
It's
and
less Gadsden and more Ouroboros as far as
it's just weird. They
don't even know the name of that flag. I guarantee.
And here's the problem, guys.
He stole it from the libertarians.
Here's the thing. I brought up Gaetz. It's finally great that he found someone over the age of 18 to screw for the first time. Like seriously, I'm not even trying to be funny with that. These guys went from impeachment hearings to ousting their own speaker in less than a week.
It's true.
That's literally what they went from Biden impeachment hearings to a week and a half later. They were ousting him from his position as Speaker of the House. And here's the funny thing. As he was all bring it on right off the bat.
Saw that.
Then when it happened, it was like, whoa, wait a second. And now it's like, what happened? I don't understand.
I don't want the job anymore.
I don't want the job anymore.
You never wanted it in the first place.
Yeah, you guys suck.
That's usually what happens when you get rejected. I didn't want it.
And
this was my plan.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Trump to be third line for president.
Wanted McCarthy out for working with Democrats. who had to work with Democrats to get McCarthy out. Do you see, do you see all of these things I'm breaking down per level here, that I don't understand? Like, this is crazy, guys.
I can't wait to watch them next Tuesday.
Oh, my. Okay, also, have you guys seen the new guy?
Well, Patrick McHenry?
Patrick McHenry. He wears the bow tie.
All the time.
Now, this is what's great, guys.
He's an angry Redenbacher.
Have you seen him slam the gavel?
I saw it.
Oh, my God. Like,
impressive.
if there is... Listen.
He's an angry elf.
There was this guy I worked with one time at this pizza place a long time ago, okay? And this individual had some anger issues. And they were that's who they were. Now, they also had some other developmental issues that they dealt with as a person. They weren't just, there was some other issues there. Yeah. But one of their things was they would snap. But they would snap over the littlest things because with the other developmental issues they had, it really created a lot of anxiety and problems for them. So I understood why there was that anger. And they explained it to me one day. But it would happen over the littlest things, like a pepperoni got mixed in with something wrong, and now they just can't get over that bridge. And that's fine. It's fine. This guy, when he slams that gavel down, you can tell he does it in this very... He's trying to prove to himself that by doing this, it's me. I am the person. And it's like,
I'm Speaker
why
Pro
are
Temp.
you guys so angry? Right? What's going on? I don't understand.
I think he has TMZ.
And here's the other problem. Where did he come from?
I don't know where he's from.
Does he get this position because he worked with McCarthy, or what's his? Oh, is it because he's the
Speaker Pro Temp, so he's interim.
But no. I'm saying, is it because he's the minority
I think he's
in the House or
third
whatever
in
it
line,
was?
And Scalise is having cancer treatment, so he can't do it.
See, here's what I don't understand. Maybe, and this is why we talk on political shows like we do. Because we bring ideas like the great campaign ideas that we've brought up over the last few weeks for Joe Biden. Why doesn't, and this is when they're like, oh, we can't figure out who's going to be the speaker or this and that. Why doesn't the vice president step in and just preside over the House as the speaker, which is to keep things, usually the speaker's job.
She's already president of the Senate.
She's already president of the Senate, I understand. But I feel like if there is a person that could step into that position that is of what we would consider meritable value, right?
Well, right
it
now
would be
there's no one
someone
that can
of
bring
that
them together.
power level. So a person like her could step in and be like, hey, listen, while we are looking for the next Speaker of the House, I will preside over. I have no vote in this. All I can do is make sure we keep the proceedings moving in the right direction. That's my job. Just like Nancy Pelosi. And by the way, they kicked her. Why would they kick Nancy? First off,
we know why.
Here's the thing,
because
guys.
technically she's not the
right, but isn't it from what I know?
He's taking it.
From what I know, wherever your office is, right, that can become the speaker office. And most of the time, the speaker just keeps their office that they're in because they all got these nice, big, sizable offices that they all use. That's what they get.
They were all visiting.
Even Marjorie Taylor Greene gets a nice, big office, guys. Okay,
she does.
She sure does.
She's a useful idiot.
But my point is they just move the speaker office to wherever the speaker's office is, and they handle the So in this case, it's that was probably just Nancy's normal office she's had for 20 plus years, and they're just oh, you're out of it now. And it's why? You got Kevin McCarthy's office is the speaker office now. I'm just over here doing my thing. And
She's a regular one. It's the hideaway. Is that the correct term? The hideaway they took. That is reserved for senators. It's the unmarked rooms in the basement of the...
this is a separate other. I see.
Senators and
I was confused about this because I caught this and I was
Kevin's
just
taking that. They also took Steny Hoyer's away.
Yes, they were being punitive about it. And
what a weird name to have.
Right, but not Matt Gaetz.
Steny Hoyer. What a weird name to just have. First off, your last name's Hoyer, so it's already Hoyer.
It's 100 years.
But then your name's Steny, and it's okay, that's definitely a family name.
It's gotta be a family name.
There is no way that is not a family name.
Steny I know.
Where is he from?
We don't even care. We don't even care.
I feel like a name like Steny, there's probably some slaveholders in his family tree.
But guys, where do you think this takes us? The speaker now has to be changed.
It's an insane week.
I mean,
Wednesday is going to be crazy. Tuesday will be fun watching them come out of their meeting and lose.
Well, This is what Boehner and Ryan had to learn, guys. This is that whole idea of if you enable the far right, they'll stab you in the back every single time. It's not just sometimes. It's take them to the edge, but if you take them, you give them too much of what they want, they immediately will just start stabbing you.
It's the
like it's
snake
Brutus.
proverb,
It's Brutus from
Seal.
Seal. It's hey, how many times do you
told
think
you
about the
about the
Roman Empire every week? Oh, I think about it every day because I just thought about Brutus stabbing Julius Caesar in the back, and it's
Absolutely.
like that's literally what it is.
And they keep being rewarded for their bad behavior. They're fundraising off of it. They're getting airtime because of it.
Grifting.
And it's
That's a
it's
total grift.
fanning the flame. So there's no consequence for them to do this and to put a stop on government. And it's about time to let the adults handle the business, and instead they're making a mockery out of our institution. For as much as they say they worship our founding father and what this country was built on, they sure are destroying it. And quite literally, some of them are pooping all over it, and they have. It's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And I appreciate you using the word poop since we're on FCC airwaves,
You're
and we don't
welcome.
want to get in trust, but we appreciate that.
You
You
know,
did a great
right
job.
now is a really good time for the Lauren Boebert sex tape to leak.
Oh, man.
You know she has.
No,
one.
nobody
There's
cares.
no way
listen,
she
listen,
hasn't
listen.
been
First off,
filmed
we
ever.
already talked
No
about
way.
this. She's done. She's done. Like
Well,
this
she
is
is
like
done, but
she
it's
is
gotta be
finished.
out
The
there.
Beetlejuice stuff. That was it. That was it for Colorado. I think
Right.
Colorado. She ends up losing by at least 1,000 votes next time. Like I don't see.
She might
barely
even
won
lose
last
on
time.
But my
Friday.
question, guys, the reason I brought this up, and you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, we're going to finish up talking about this, and then we're going to get on to a little bit about Donald Trump.
Yay.
Who is now in the middle of his court proceedings with the fraud case up in New York. So we're going to discuss that. We got Jenna Roberson here hanging out with us. She's campaigning for Missouri House District 63, and she's going up against Trish Burns. And we are talking to her right now, and we appreciate her being here on KYRO and WIBH. We'll be back on the show right after this.
This your boy Soulja Boy, tell him. This girl says she got a dope. She about to make a hip swing all night long. Oh na na, oh na na, oh na na, oh na na.
Oh shit, shake the moving like you gypsy. Stop, fall back, get up now, let me see your hips.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the QNow. Mark Bland, Jenna Roberson, and Jason Cole right there. We're all hanging out today talking about the Kevin McCarthy thing. And before we went to break, I wanted to pose that question to you real simply. I just want to get a quick bite off of you guys. What's your thoughts on where this goes boating into the election year? We have got the Speaker of the House has now been kind of thrown up into the air. We have no idea who's going to end up landing on this. It could be the Speaker pro tempore, Patrick McHenry. It's possible. I don't know. We don't know where this goes. But what do you guys think how this bodes for what's coming up and then how it's going to affect the Trump stuff in election 2024? Because I feel like it's going to play a part.
I very much think that it is. I think, and I heard it on the way over here tonight, that Marjorie Taylor Greene, and of course, when this was happening, they're pushing for Donald Trump to be speaker, right?
Yeah,
But you can't. Well, can you do that? I guess you can do that because there's no
Anyone-
rule that says that.
anyone can be
But
speaker.
why would you want someone who's not dealing with these people on an individual day-to-day
It's
basis? Like that's the
fundraising,
weird.
grifting,
I understand the grift.
anytime.
No, I
Yeah.
understand the reason Trump would do it and the grift they would. But I don't understand why they would be thinking that him in that position is going to benefit because they're already stopgapping everything and getting nothing done. So him being in that position doesn't stopgap. It's literally only the grift at that point. Like there's nothing more that he's going to do
It's
according
chaos.
to the.
diverting
All they
things.
want
Yeah.
is chaos.
Yeah,
that's all they want. They don't
And
want to
so,
govern. They can't govern.
at a certain
So they
point,
create chaos.
do we just take these individuals and spank them a little bit, put them in some places that don't make them feel good, and then let them out after a few months? Like I'm not saying forever, but
Well,
but if we
here's
let
the
them
thing.
out, we know what they'll do. We know what they'll do. Like 'cause
Lauren
we're starting to
Boebert-
play this game now.
Lauren Boebert likes to be spanked and stuck in places that don't make her feel good.
So does Marjorie Taylor Greene. So does
They're
Marjorie.
publicly elected officials, no matter what our opinion on them are.
Yep.
They were elected to serve their people.
They
the
were.
only
They were.
recourse
That's
we
true.
have is to have someone else on the ballot, whether they're a fellow Republican or Democrat.
we can't just go taking
and hit the
the-
doors.
yeah,
That's the best you can do. Show people what has she done for their district. Really, what has she done?
None of
them
She's
done
got
anything.
What
all the
has
family
literally-
value people have all been
literally-
divorced. They've all cheated. They're
Jenna,
committing.
what has the entire
and
Congress at this
dinners.
point, and this sadly involves the ones that are Democrat, but what has this Congress done since they've come to power? Have they passed a law that everybody was worried about? Have they done anything that any of us were worried about at all over the last 7 years, 10 years? Like, is there anything that they've brought to the table? Because at least, like, when they try to talk trash At the president level, we can go, hey, this guy did the Financial Reform Act of 2009. That's some on Barack Obama's thing that nobody ever brings up. There's lots of little things that I can do for President Trump, for President Biden, for President Obama. It doesn't matter who the president was. I can find things that they all have done.
Correct.
But then the Congress is a different game because sometimes Congress just wastes a bunch of time. Sometimes Congress is getting the healthcare, Obamacare passed and moving and stuff like that. Sometimes we got things that are happening. That's when I like Congress.
Yeah, this one's
and
not
here's
good.
the thing. If Lauren Boebert really wanted to get back into power, if Marjorie Taylor Greene really wanted to get back into power in a matter, I would be going out of my way to get every single person who's a Republican in Congress on the same page and going, let's not worry about all this stuff. Let's try to pass some laws or some things that we can literally hang our hats on for when we go campaign. Because now I'm starting to realize what I've always said, Jay, right, about Donald Trump. It was never about politics and policy. It was always about being able to be an asshole and get away with it.
That's true.
And whereas Jenna said earlier, she likes to be the lovable asshole. I said it live on the air. I understand. It's my fault. How she wants to be that. Other people, they're taking it too far. Like, it's not even being lovable at this point.
Somebody needs to be a direct side to them because, again, they've got. Oh, you got to say it.
Oh, I got to. You're right.
Don't be sexist. Don't be sexist.
Yeah.
I can say it just with the best human.
No, it's not that you couldn't. I just don't want you to.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
But they're being rewarded for this again, like we said, right? There's no consequences. So their game is, well, this has worked for us so far, and I got to be honest with you, they have 30% of the Republican Party locked up, and they love these people for doing this because they are all in on the MAGA thing. They are all in. They don't care. Their
and the MAGA thing is making
as long as they win, they don't
a-holes great again. That's what it is. That's literally what MAGA is. Making a-holes great again. That's all they're doing now.
And they've chosen their messiahs. There's no way, like, even trying to have a conversation, you can find some common ground. But people I know that have run for office that have knocked doors at all this say, hey, this makes sense to you, but you're a Democrat, I can never vote for you. Someone else I know has been told, well, you're not a Christian, so I can never vote. Even though they agree on the issues, the MAGA
they will literally take the template and apply it so that they don't have to.
Exactly. And they've done such a good job of not only are they not governing, they've convinced a wide swath of people that we're demonic. We are evil.
Do you know who this is?
Work with us.
Do you know what we're talking about now? I'll tell you what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I'll break it down for anybody out there who's not even into politics, because everybody's dealt with this person. We're dealing with the person that doesn't want to pay the bill. Every single time you go to lunch with them, every single time you go to dinner with them, every single time you go out to eat with them, they've always got the next template excuse that they can apply to the situation of what's going on at that moment, why they can't pay for this or why they can't. And by the way, it could be lunch at Subway for $20. We're not talking about millions of dollars here. We're talking about $20. But that's what really makes you angry is when you find out that it's only about $20 and that person is obstinate. They don't even want to cover your foot-long sandwich. They just don't even want to do it at all. And it's like, okay, that's what's going on with these people. They're just doing it to be a-holes about it, and they're going to use a new excuse every single time to make it all right, to pat themselves on the back for getting away with it.
Well, the problem with the Republicans is they don't care if anything gets done because their districts are so gerrymandered, they never have to do anything. They will get voted back in.
Well, that's true, too.
It's the Democrats that lose.
And the ones that aren't are so much under the threat of being primaried, and I will say bullied.
That's true.
To not go. Look at what happened to Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. They were out because they had, and I just don't agree with them on policy, but at least they had the audacity to actually be a patriot and stand up and say what was wrong.
This is the Chris Christie, Liz Cheney issue. See, this is that Chris Christie, Liz Cheney thing. Like these are the people that, listen, when you saw that debate, the last debate, Jay, you and me were together and we were watching that last debate for a second. And we saw Chris Christie up there. And I turned to you at that last debate and I said, that Republican debate, that town hall style debate that they just had. And I turned to you and I said, Chris Christie sounds exactly like the president that you need. He sounds exactly like he understands and knows the policies. He understands everything. He's not bellowing stupidity. He is literally the guy that is this common sense person. But what did he do? I said, we'll never vote for him. He jumped on the Trump train. Oh, yeah. He tried to suckle up to that man. It didn't work out.
To help him
then
debate.
Then he tried to, all that.
And then got COVID for it.
Then got COVID for it. Then, here's the best part. Then Trump turned his back on him.
Oh, yeah.
Just like he does every other person. Listen, Trump is Vader, guys. Trump is Vader. There will be that moment with Eric and Don Jr. where they pull the helmet off and he goes, "Yeah, I loved you guys. I always did." But until then, it's Vader. This is Palpatine. You're getting stabbed in the back. This is going to happen. Right. And so a Liz Cheney, because she dared to not sit there and deal with it because of the way he talked about her dad and the way he talked about other military people and stuff like this. And he's like, classic. How dare you? And it's like, no, Trump, how dare you? You're the one who goes around belling about LEO and about military and how you respect everybody in all these positions. But then the first thing you do is trash the FBI, the CIA, all these LEO organizations. Then you're like, oh, the newest one, and I was going to talk about this later, but we talk about it right now, the John Kelly coming out and basically saying, hey, listen, this man is so bad that there was a man that we had that had limbs missing, and he came up and told me in my ear, don't you bring this guy around it. Or was it Milley? It was General Milley. General Milley. It was Milley. It was a bad look because people don't want to see that. Yeah. And it's like, dude, relax. The man fought for your life. By the way, the livelihood for you to run out and try to say you were part of 9/11 when you weren't. Right. You were at your little cushy New Jersey, whatever.
About the size of your building.
Yeah, bragging about the size of your building at that time. So this man, you know what? We've already transitioned to topic 2. Donald Trump quickly made a circus of his fraud hearing in New York. Letitia James and her crew are all present in New York for the civil trial that's going on after Donald Trump. Going after Donald Trump. Trump started the week out chastising the judge and attorneys in the case verbally to the press, each day ramping it up further, until finally he was told to pipe down by the court for his comments, and he huffed and puffed under his breath. This is the civil fraud trial. It's not criminal. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, Trump is being sued by New York for fraud. There's no jury, only a judge, and penalties could be the dissolution of Trump's companies in New York or huge financial penalties, okay? No jail time. And currently, this is true, 80% of the case that was brought to the table has been dismissed because of the statute of limitations. This is true.
The judge says, no, that's not true, because every time they did it started over.
But at the same point, I guess we're going to find out. I guess we're going to find out where this is at, because... but
good job on his attorney's behalf on not checking out. We want a jury trial.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I hate the man, but his lawyer rocking the Asus gaming laptop gave me a chuckle. That really gave me a chuckle, right? I got that. I got the guy. Literally, there's a picture of Trump sitting in front of the big thing, and if you look between him and his lawyer in the background, there's a guy who's pretending to dip a tea bag into a bat of tea, like a cup of tea, while he's pretending. This is legit. And then directly behind his other lawyer, this female on the other side of him, there's a guy in a bow tie. Once again, looking like the 50th stage villain from a Cuphead movie.
Bow tie became the red flag all of a sudden. I hate that.
Well, no, but guys, hey, Jenna. One thing I love about the QNow, and this show's been going strong, obviously good enough to get on a completely Republican network, saying the exact opposite of everyone around us for one reason and one reason only. We bring these things to their face. We have no problem letting them see everything for what it is.
But they don't. That's why we're in the problem we are now.
And here's what he always looks so unhappy in court. I hope he has to spend a lot of time there. I really do.
He's a nepotism trust fund baby that has somehow convinced the middle and lower class that he's one of them and knows what they go through. The man bankrupted a casino. Do you know how bad at business you have to be?
Right. That's free money.
Right? His dad got in trouble for just taking $2 million to him. He's bankrupted small businesses. There is nothing good about this.
I've got to hear your opinion on what I'm getting ready to say. As we all know, I'm a pretty hardcore moderate. And I do pull from both sides. And I'm not a Trump supporter. I never have been, as me and Jay have famously talked about. Many a time, neither one of us are Trump supporters by any means whatsoever. But I do want... I'm having trouble seeing a scenario, guys, where he doesn't win next year. Right now. It's obviously not set in stone. I'd honestly give it around 60 to 70% chance at this point in my head. This is where I'm breaking this down. And that's why I said I wanted to hear your opinions on this. To clarify, if he's even convicted before the election and isn't able to appeal it, which I doubt will happen, there isn't any law saying he can't run from prison. And there doesn't seem to be any sign that it would dent his support, as you already brought up, Jenna, earlier here. Meanwhile, the Biden age issues it isn't going to get better in the next few months, and it's probably too late in the cycle for a serious primary challenger at this point. Yeah. Let's be honest. And lastly, the polling right now isn't looking good for Biden. Like, I hate to say this. Yeah, it's early, but I don't think there's anyone who's unfamiliar with who Trump and Biden are at this point. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, though. Like, and gas prices are still high. They're in that $3 range. People see that every single day. Now, we're in a red state.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. It's getting tough for me to, like, and I'm not wanting to be that guy, but.
You know, once he hits the stand for this trial and throws his kids under the bus.
And everybody under the bus.
And he's going to look foolish on the stand. That's going to look bad.
I don't think that's going to matter to his base.
Well, it's not going to matter to his base, but it's going to pull away all those middle ground people.
And you're dealing with it, Jenna. Yes. You are dealing with your competitor that you currently are dealing with.
The base will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tricia a supporter of Donald Trump? Is she? Would you say?
As far as I know, I believe that she is. Now, is she really, or is she like everyone else where they're jumping on the bandwagon?
Just probably in Missouri. No, it's Missouri. She's a bandwagon jumper.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. My thing is that's the kind of support, that undying loyalty for no reason whatsoever, where there's no justification or necessary for it. It's not like Trump ever came to Wentzville or anywhere out into St. Charles or even to other areas of St. Louis to help any of these people out. Like, it's just, nope, I love them because I gotta love them.
He doesn't even pay his lawyers. All the time, hey, the J6 people come, it's going to be wild. He pardoned not a one of them. Didn't cover their legal fees.
We talked about the Proud Boy guy for 22 years.
He took about it.
Hey, think about this, Jenna.
He didn't do it. He let them fail.
Enrique Tarrio is going to have Bubba's P up in his M literally 6 months from now, and he's not going to have Donald Trump there to help him out, to bail him out, to get him out. And by the way, while that dude is doing that to him in the shower, do you think in his mind he's going to be like, I'm really happy Donald Trump put me here. I'm really happy that he helped me get here. No.
These people's lives have been ruined on top of whatever's happening in prison. Their families' lives. They're going to miss birthdays.
That's true.
Weddings.
Right? That's what we talked about.
Grandchildren.
These people have kids.
You know what I love about Jenna? No. You know why I almost want to add Jenna to the show as a permanent fixture? You know why? Seriously, no. I'll tell you why. Because every time I try to go crass and rude and like this, she's like, hey, that's great and all, and they will do that, but hey, listen, what about that serious issue? Those kids aren't going to get a good education, okay? And like she brings it back to that real legit stuff that you need to stay on top of because that's what people care about. Like I crack a joke, you crack a joke. That's what gets people like talking about us and like keeps everybody's eyes. Like we're like the Pat McAfee of like politics, right? That's what we basically.
Nobody wants to feel bad for some loser's
back
kids.
And forth. If one of you wanted to be the humanizer, I could very well switch roles with you, but.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on the Q Now. When we come back, more with Jenna Roberson, myself, and Jason Call. It's going to be time for us to do the tournament of pop culture. Jay, are you ready? You good?
I am.
All right, last bracket is going to be up
Final four coming up
after this. Correct. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Q Now. Mark Bland along with Jason Call every single week, Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. WIBH, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time here on KYRO, News Radio, KYRO.com. You can always check us out at theqnow.com. Today, our guest is Jenna Roberson. Roberson. Dang it.
Ba-boom.
I need a buzzer.
You need a buzzer. You do. You need like we need the Roberson
buzzer.
The Roberson buzzer is what we'll call it from now on. If you mess up a word or something, or you say a cuss word, you have to hit the buzzer. That would be it. All right. Jenna Roberson is here, and we appreciate her being here because she gets to be in a special episode of one of our tournaments of pop culture, Jason.
The big one. What's the big one?
But before we get to that, I want to ask you guys. So, I've come across a television show that caught me by surprise. Very entertaining. I really want you guys to see this. I want all adults in America and across the United States and world to see this.
Is it Victoria?
This is no, but it's called Naked Attraction.
Nice, you got me.
It's literally from England. It's been on 25 seasons. So it's been around a long while. Didn't even know it existed. Didn't know until literally this week that it existed, okay? They put people into boxes butt naked.
It's true.
butt naked
And
into
they're
the
not
boxes.
people necessarily.
And
you wanna
literally,
see
nope,
naked.
they're all kinds of people from all different walks of life.
Body positivity.
They are
Definitely
contestants.
is.
Because the whole point is based off of the way this individual views your body naked, they will determine if they want to go on a date with you. And that's how it works.
Can you imagine knowing that ahead
Now,
of time?
the best part of the show, in my opinion, and I love this part of the show. This is what I love about the show, right? So that already sounds kind of juicy, right? It already sounds kind of juicy. So you're like, I'd like to check this out just to see this one. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. It's totally hilarious. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to notice things. You have judgments you didn't even know you had. You're going to have judgments, Jason. You didn't know. I didn't know that I would have the judgments I had, Jason. I did not know that I would have these judgments, but I had these judgments because when you see an uncircumcised penis staring you in the face that just looks like the snout of like an anteater,
Right, look like a
right?
chewed
It
up
looks
piece of
really
taffy.
like a chewed up piece of and you're like, that's
You
supposed.
stuck
And,
it on the
and
head
then
of a
she's
regular
sitting there.
wiener.
She's sitting there judging it, going, "Oh yeah, that'll do the work. I bet I can shove that in all deep and fine." Like it's
What?
really, yeah, dude. I'm telling you, you don't understand. They're already showing the penis on
I guess
the
it is
screen.
British,
so
so I
it's
would say
British
deep and
television
fine.
where they're showing penis on the screen. Do you think that they're scared about saying words? Stop this. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal.
like that.
Naked Attraction is the name of the show. You guys have
What's
got
it on?
to see this. But my favorite part is when so after each like looking and like judging section, they move the little door up a little bit so that you can judge more of the body. Okay, so it starts from the feet up and it gets to basically a peep show that goes belly button down and then between the belly button and the head, and then you get to see the whole person.
I would
okay?
ask like rapid
But
fire
here's
questions.
these early people that get bumped out. When they get bumped out, they're told that they open the box up to introduce who the person is. So this is a person, this guy named Tom, right? He's just butt naked, standing on a stage. No, there's no studio audience. So they at least thought about that.
Weird, right?
Well, I guess so, but like then every time they're already butt naked, so they want to come out, and when they come out, they always, because they're butt naked, you're going to see a lot of different personalities shine out that you don't typically see. And the way that these people interact with the person is always kind of weird. So literally, it's always them saying one creepy line to them as they leave to like introduce themselves. Like, "Oh, hey, Mary, it's me, Tom, and I'd really love to blah, blah, blah." And then they go, "Oh, no, you're creepy. You can go. Like literally, they're like sweeping them off the stage with their hands. They're like, no, you can go now. You can go. It's okay.
Your wiener
It's okay.
looks weird.
Your wiener looks weird. You go. You got love handles in the wrong spot. You can go.
Right.
Dude, no, I'm serious. I'm not gonna lie. If the three of us sat here and watched an episode and we would record that, audio would be hilarious. There is no way not to have fun watching this
Is it a
show.
BBC thing?
This is a Friday night, break open the 12 pack and just sit down and enjoy a couple of episodes. Like
Mystery Science Theater.
oh, it is.
there we
It
go.
so is. All right.
What is it on?
I think it's on like BBC 4 or something like
It's okay.
that.
If it's
I'm not sure. I saw you
Sign
can
up
go.
for
You
a
can go
week
to,
of BritBox.
I saw an episode or two of it on YouTube, so you can watch it on
fantastic.
YouTube.
Okay.
They show
Penis and
wieners
all.
on- they show
Penis and
wieners
all.
on YouTube?
Penis and all.
What? When did YouTube go all Pornhub?
I don't think they went Pornhub. I think it has to be within a tasteful standard.
Oh, so it's non-sexual because they're just standing there.
Right. It's not trying to be presented in a sexual
Are they all
way like
Brits
that.
or are there any like American Joes?
There might be at some point. I don't know. I saw it's one of it. There's 25 seasons, and by the way, the early seasons are a lot different than these. Like these started at a certain point out of that 25 seasons. Prior to this, it was like two people just got naked, met each other to date for like an afternoon,
Remember they
and
had
ended
that-
up always banging on the bed. Like it's like
On
natural.
VH1, they used to have the dating naked or whatever, where they meet naked and the one guy showed up with an erection. That was the
my.
best one ever. You should look
He
that one
came
up.
ready to work.
He did. And he was just like
You're
talking
very
about-
emphatic about it. You're like, you need to look that
Like
up.
seriously, it is the funniest thing ever because it's just so weird.
I enjoy some good things, but y'all even had me feel a little prudish. Like I don't necessarily know if I want to see a bunch of
Well, it's blurred.
strangers
It's
like
blurred.
that.
It's blurred.
But the best
It's
part
blurred.
is
It's on
every
VH1.
episode.
Well, then
So,
that's-
but here's the best part. Here's the best part.
Own it.
Here's the best part about the show.
VH1.
Every episode is a girl choosing guys and a guy choosing girls.
Yeah,
So you're going to see 5 naked dudes and 5 naked women.
Yeah,
like
you
that's
go
how
on
it
dates
works.
with
Like,
different people,
and then they
and you
judge
choose
them.
one.
They judge them, like their labia, things like it gets that serious. Like I'm not even joking.
Yeah, they don't judge them on
If
dating.
they know
They
the correct anatomical name for things, I might be a little more interested in
That's what
watching
I'm saying. This is
Yeah.
what they're saying, but that could also just be because it's England, right? They're trying to be like proper with their English, so it's not even about like the technical term.
That would be
Like, they're
nice
just-
and fine.
I'm just the best.
Shove up.
Just puts a cucumber.
Cheerio, matey.
He makes us look like a cucumber sandwich and serves it. Hey, let me just tea
all right.
bag.
Are you hungry?
Different kind of tea bag on that show.
All right, here's the deal. It's time for us to do our tournament of pop culture. This is week 4. We have our 4th bracket, the final
I need a
bracket.
train whistle to
And
blow.
at the end of this, Jason, at the end of this bracket, we will have our 4th and final competitor for the championship, which will be next week's episode.
That's right,
okay?
that's the final 4.
That is the final 4 of the best television character, sitcom, whatever, of all time.
You know what? I bet I could buy a train whistle at the zoo.
We have,
You could. I've
we
seen
do
it.
have what I would consider a couple of
Cracker
icons.
Barrel.
Done.
I do feel that we have a couple of icons on here.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. This should be fun. So let's get into it, okay? Let's
do it.
This is the 4th bracket. Round 1, we have in our first matchup, Ron Swanson of Parks and Rec
I don't even need to hear the
Come
other
on,
one.
my
Ron
favorite
Swanson.
Republican.
Ron
versus
Swanson.
David Rose of Schitt's Creek. That's spelled SCHITTS.
Still Ron Swanson.
I do like Schitt's Creek, but Ron Swanson's a way better written character. Every design
loves
character.
bacon.
David Rose is a
Yeah.
fantastic, but Ron
He is,
Swanson
I
is
know.
kind of
David
like
Rose is great.
Ron Swanson's kind of like its own icon
Right.
in its own right.
But David's like your
Yes.
big.
I gotta go Ron. I gotta go
I go with Ron too.
Ron,
His
Ron.
permit, I
Yes.
can do what I
Yeah.
want. So totally encapsulate
Right.
my view of the government.
Right.
I pay your salary. You work for me. I will use
Yeah.
this park. I've already paid for it.
All right.
Yeah, classic libertarian.
Yes.
Next one up. Big Bang Theory's Sheldon Cooper, played by Jim Parsons. We love
really
Jim
got into
Parsons.
that
And I
show,
do
and I get the
I do like listen, for many, many years, ladies and gentlemen, I was a Big Bang Theory hater. You know I've come on this show and specifically trashed that show before
Then you binged it.
many years ago, and then a few years ago during COVID when I had nothing to watch, literally I had nothing to watch technically, I decided why not give it a shot.
right.
Tried to give it a shot, and by the time it was over with, I fell in love with Howard and a few other characters, and I ended up liking the show, and I understand where the value in Sheldon Cooper is. I understand why that character is popular. I understand why he's good. He though is going up against one sheriff of Mayberry.
Oh, there you go.
Barney Fife.
You know, I might have to go with Barney. I don't know.
From the Andy Griffith Show. That's right. Barney Fife of the Andy Griffith Show. Now, see, here's the problem. This goes back to our Lucy. Remember? Our Lucille Ball argument. Like, this is Barney Fife. This is like an iconic American, like the first great, other than the Honeymooners, like it was the Honeymooners, then it became I Love Lucy, then it was the Andy Griffith Show. Like they were like right back to back with each other.
You know, I've never laughed at an episode of I Love Lucy, but I have laughed at Barney Fife watching Andy Griffith. So
Well, but here's the funny thing. I love Don
Knotts.
Don Knotts. I think he's such a great. He's such a great actor, and Barney Fife is such an iconic character that has got some really like. I know that's a really close fight for me between that and Sheldon Cooper because I feel like Sheldon is more of like a new age version of that for like your nerds nowadays. Sheldon is the Bazinga guy, like he's part of that whole world. And once again, that argument of if you pass over into pop culture, but I feel like the Andy Griffith Show in itself
sure did,
into pop culture. So I feel like maybe I got to go Barney Fife. I think I'm going to go Barney Fife. I'm going Barney Fife.
Do?
I'm going to go with Sheldon.
Uh-oh.
You're going to go with Sheldon. You've put
I
it
like
onto
a
Jason.
straightforward science.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't
In
mind
all
it.
honesty, I understand that Barney Fife was a part of the show, and I did enjoy the show. It was very wholesome, had some good lessons. But he gave me anxiety because he always seemed like a liability.
It's like,
yes, he was. He was quite the liability. He was. Yes, he was. He was quite the liability.
70 years later, this man's going to get an HR lawsuit, right?
Like he was
You know,
drinking
it's a little
Coca-Cola
different.
from the 20s or something.
But I did like his character, but I have to go with Sheldon because
You know what?
I like
What
that
you did
version.
with Big Bang Theory, I did with Rush, the band Rush. Just
Sure.
One day I was like, whatever, and I ended up liking them, but I would never pick them for
There's probably a couple of popular songs that caught you, and you were like, "Okay, I'm cool with them. I'm cool with them."
And I listened to them.
That's Iron
and I
Maiden
ended
for
up
me
liking
because
them.
I don't like. Never mind. Nope, not I hate Iron Maiden.
He loves them.
I'm
I'm going Barney Fife as well.
You're gonna go Barney Five as well. Barney moves on in the tournament.
Right, it hurts.
ladies and
It's a real
gentlemen.
pain when they root against when they go against you.
I understand
it happens
it,
to me
though.
all the time.
I understand it, but no, I just...
All right.
They always choose against me.
Next up,
constantly.
we have Fonzie, Arthur Fonzarelli. Fonzie.
Okay.
Right?
From Happy Days, which we love having, that very iconic character. Pop culture crossover for sure.
Wow. How many people have walked in somewhere and hit a jukebox?
For sure.
For sure. A joke.
For
to
sure.
their friends.
But Fonzie is going up against what I would consider a new age potential champion type person, like Eric Cartman from South Park. I mean, that's a tough one, guys. I hate to do that, but you know, Cartman in his own right is a pop culture icon. Right. South Park has given me more laughs harder than anything that Happy Days ever did. Now,
Cartman has never jumped the shark.
Fonzie, though, also is like, you got to remember, I have to remember that I'm a young 1981 6-year-old little kid who's seeing Happy Days, and I see Fonzie roll up on the motorcycle, and he's so cool. That little 6-year-old thinks that dude is awesome. He thinks that guy's cool, and I can't deny that guy. At the same point, there's a young man in his teens and early 20s that sees South Park.
Right.
And falls in love with Cartman and all of them. And I hate to do this to Fonzie, but I'm going to go Cartman.
Cartman's like a likable Trump supporter.
It is. That's true. That is true. That's what Cartman is.
I knew exactly what you meant when you said that.
He's super awful, but...
What do you got?
I got to go Cartman.
You're going to go Cartman as well? What about you?
I am also going to go with Cartman.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's a sweep right there for Cartman.
I remember that movie came out right after I turned 17 in high school, and they carded you when you bought the ticket, they carded you when they tore it, they carded you at the door.
I saw that movie with my parents.
Because there was so many F-bombs in that movie that it was good.
Sure.
And Fonzie, like, I remember watching that, but of course, as you get older, you start looking at like, oh my gosh, this is the guy that hangs out with teenagers when he's
I took my parents to that back in 2000.
He's like the guy that wears the Letterman jacket on Friday night when he's in his mid-30s and going through a midlife crisis.
Easy, buddy.
All right. Our last one.
Still love the
Our last one to finish off that piece of the bracket. We have Phoebe Buffay from Friends. And we do love Phoebe. We love Smelly Cat. We love the Phoebes. She is fantastic. We've also had other Friends characters on so far. They didn't get through.
They didn't make it.
They didn't make it. But that's okay. You guys can go back and listen to the last 3 shows so you can figure out who won. And you can see who's going to be in the championship next week. Phoebe Buffay from Friends versus Jim Brockmire of the show Brockmire. I don't know if you guys have seen the show Brockmire.
I am not familiar with that.
Brockmire is fantastic. It's Hank Azaria, who's a very good character actor, but he plays the baseball sportscaster.
That's right.
Brockmire is a fantastic character. But it's no Phoebe.
No, it's
Phoebe
not.
is on a different level.
2 seasons or 3 seasons.
Phoebe's on a different level. Like, I'm just sorry. That's just got to be that way, guys.
Was that an Amazon or Max or what was that? Was that HBO?
What would you say? What would you say?
This is tough for me because I've never heard or seen Brockmire, and the only Friends episode I've seen was the actual finale.
And Hank Azaria
so maybe Phoebe.
But
so maybe Phoebe.
I would go with Phoebe because I've seen enough little clips that I know who her character is, and I really like her. And she was actually the only Friends character that I found to not be annoying. I thought all the rest of them were. I thought they were insecure and high maintenance, and it just
That's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair.
That was on IFC.
Oh
wow! There we go.
Yeah, right.
You don't get a lot of the runs on IFC. IFC's got some unique shows like Portlandia and stuff.
Portlandia was good. I do like.
Were they Fly to the Concords too? Was that IFC?
That was HBO.
HBO.
Oh, but no, there was some IFC for Fly to the Concords.
Did they show
there must have been like replays of them or something because I remember
2 solid seasons on HBO.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a couple of heavyweights getting ready to battle it out. We're going to have more with our Tournament of Pop Culture Best Television Character of All Time. We'll be back on the show right after this.
It be young Lloyd and them franchise boys, whipping it hard in them old school toys. Got my top down and my trunk got noise. We turning heads now when we pull them out. Young Lloyd and them franchise boys, whipping it hard in them old school toys. We turning heads.
Welcome back to the show. Mark Bland, joined today by one Mr. Jason Call.
That's true.
That is true. That is always true. At least we hope it's true. That's what we want it to be.
I hope I'm here. What's going on?
You think you're here? You're not sure if you're here?
Oh, no.
You could be here.
I'm inside a snow globe.
It's Schrodinger's cat over here.
All right. We're moving on in the tournament of pop culture, ladies and gentlemen. We've got what we have here. Well, shoot. It's a lot that we've got here because we got some heavyweights. Like I said, coming up right now that we are going to have battle it out. Leslie Knope of Parks and Rec. I love a Leslie Knope, right? This is a great character. This is a great character.
Very positive.
This is when Saturday Night Live gets it right, and then they like send it over here, and it just works. Once again, though, Parks and Rec character, just like Ron Swanson, taking a shot up against a childhood hero for probably a lot of my young life. It has to be, and that is Zach Morris.
Oh,
Saved by the Bell.
Oh,
that's right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm all
Zach Morris of Saved by the Bell.
I'll be like the Joker in The Dark Knight. I'll break the pool cue in half and throw it on the ground for you two. I'm going Leslie Knope.
You're going Leslie Knope.
I am.
This is so tough because I love Little Sebastian.
I love me some Zach Morris,
but
though.
I also love the Speed Pill episode with Jesse Spano. I'm so excited. Everyone knows that episode,
shown in health
right?
classes to this day.
It should be. I grew up with Saved by the Bell. I remember what it was before. What was it? Miss Bliss. It was when they were younger. It was
that
Saved by the Bell, something else.
Episode is shown in health classes during the drugs part of health.
Yes.
What, the Jesse Spano one?
Yes.
Really?
The diet pill.
I did not think about that.
Thing. She was using it to study for exams, right?
Because she needs to get an A in her algebra class or something to get into college. Something dumb.
I mean, it's hard.
In real life.
I kind of don't forgive him for
what I love about that
he did to
episode,
Screech and Lisa, right? That one kind of hurt.
What I love about that episode, though, is they're singing with no microphones. There's no nothing anywhere. There's just music playing inside this restaurant. Like, what is going on? Like,
all right.
It's like a nightmare.
Oh, this is a tough one.
I'm going to go Zach Morris. I love Leslie Knope.
Tied up.
I'm going to go Zach, too.
You're going to go Zach. Morris moves on. Yeah. Wow. But that's okay because Zach's got some quality stuff there.
You know he got older and raped a woman, right? You know that.
Okay, we're moving on. All right.
That note?
On that note, Tyrion Lannister of Game of Thrones. And I do love me some Tyrion Lannister. That's what's the name of that actor?
It's the angry elf.
That's what's his name? The actor.
What is his name? He's an elf.
I'm going blank on that myself. Look him up. You got the phone. You got the little internets over there. You got your phone.
Peter Dinklage. That's who it
is. Peter Dinklage. Very good.
Yeah.
And Peter Dinklage, Tyrion Lannister, is going to be going up against Gina Linetti of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, if you don't know who that is, she's also a Saturday Night Live alum.
Yeah.
She's the one who plays the female with the red hair in the office, who's always getting it in with the other. She's the female officer. I feel like Tyrion Lannister kind of takes this one. Right. That's what I feel like. I'm not against Gina Linetti. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I feel like there's other characters on Brooklyn Nine-Nine that are better than Gina Linetti's character. So like,
and you know, like Peter Dinklage is so good at that.
But we've also had those other characters from Brooklyn Nine-Nine on the list.
Like
too,
you don't even realize, he's like a little person, and it doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't even come.
The fact that he played, it's one and the same person. Like it almost feels like he was just being himself, dressed up like that, and we were all like, okay, cool.
But
like,
the thing is, obviously there were people like that
dancing into the little witness box or whatever when he was on trial.
So I guess
I'm all in on Peter Dinklage.
I'm gonna go Tyrion Lannister myself.
Oh, and his character was so smart in the show as well as in the books. Like I don't think he got enough credit. He survived that crazy whole thing as being like the throwaway child who never had his father's love. But he got him back. He shot him in the pooper.
Yeah,
not the physical pooper, the pooper.
One of our last two of this first round.
How'd you die? Well,
we have Barney Stinson of How I Met Your Mother, a.k.a. Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
NPH.
Classic.
Yeah.
Going up against Robert Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond, the brother.
Oof, yeah.
And he's a good character.
He is a good character. He's a nicer guy than Barney. But
I feel like Barney has a little bit of an edge to him.
Again,
I like that edge. Like it's a likable dirtbag. Or the old curmudgeon. Like we got into like these certain things. That likable dirtbag, and I feel like Neil Patrick Harris kind of like cut his unseen year. I call those the unseen years because they always. I watched How I Met Your Mother. I liked the show.
It was a good show.
But it's one of those shows that kind of is hit and miss. Like some people see it, some people don't.
That's true.
Kind of like The Wire.
Jason Segel.
Like everybody saw Friends, everybody saw Cheers. Like, but when you get How I Met Your Mother, not everybody saw that.
Not everybody, no.
I got to go Neil Patrick Harris. I got to go Barney.
I got to go with
Stinson.
Neil Patrick Harris too because he's almost more likable. The character Barney's almost more likable than Robert and everyone or what is it, Raymond? Everyone loves Raymond.
Right.
Yeah, I liked his character, and Everybody Loves Raymond. I've seen that one, but
I don't think I'd want to hang out with him.
No, I'd want to hang out with MPH.
Right? Yeah.
I'd want to go to White Castle with MPH.
Next one we have, and the final one of the first round, we have Selena Meyer of Veep, which is
that's
Julia Louis-Dreyfus versus Michael Scott from The Office.
Never watched either of those shows.
Oh my goodness!
If I have to choose between these, I've definitely got to go Michael Scott. I have to go Michael Scott. Like, there's no way I can't go Michael Scott on this.
I will go with Veep simply because I really love the gif where she's laughing and says WTF. I've used that on more than one occasion, so I'm going to give her the win on that one.
That's fair. That's fair. You can judge things that way if you need to. I understand.
I have a lot of stuff to add to my
where are you going to go?
I am going to go Michael Scott.
Fair enough. And I feel like that's a very good choice. You can go far with either one of those, but I feel like Michael Scott he really embodies what I consider a great character.
Right.
A great character.
I mean, imagine being that big in the show with a character like Dwight in that show as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's how much fighting he had to do for scenes. But Jenna never seen it. She's never seen it.
I've seen clips here.
Ron Swanson.
Yes.
Has moved on to the second round, and he is going up against Barney Fife. Of Andy Griffith.
That's not as hard as the first
Swanson.
time. Yeah, where are you going?
I like Ron. I do.
Likeable curmudgeon.
But Barney, iconic American.
A little twitchy.
Yeah. The problem with Barney is that he's a little dated. Now I feel like
true.
Park and Rex.
He's black and white.
I feel like Park and Rex is a little bit more of a contemporary show. Yep. Some of the jokes probably land a little bit easier for me at this age because I understand things and I'm of that age.
The humor and
the humor,
Andy Griffith is subpar.
But it's more family oriented. It's wholesome.
It's below Disney shows.
It's below
a G-rated family that adults and kids can watch together, and it has different kind of humor that they can both enjoy, or adults can get something different from it, and the kids never know.
It's like, oh, Barney,
it's a family show.
That's not an apple, that's a tomato.
All right. I'm going to go Ron Swanson.
I'm going to go Ron Swanson as well.
All right. Next up, we have Eric Cartman. Once again,
I love him.
In a battle with another famous, more up-to-date icon in Phoebe Buffay from Friends. And that's a really tough decision because Phoebe's one of 6. Cartman's one of 4. Okay, so they both have like that I stick out, but like Cartman is the leader of the team. Like we know that Kyle and but we know it's Cartman. Cartman runs the show. He leads
not the idea
team.
Guy. He runs
and
the
he's
show.
Almost kind of like the focal point kind of South Park. Like I feel
and is Smelly Cat better than Kyle's mom as a bee?
No.
Right?
No.
I also feel like Kyle...
feeding Scott Tenorman his own
in front of Radiohead.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like these are iconic moments. Right? He's savage. This dude is legit. Like I love Eric Cartman. Plus, if you see the hat, just the blue with the yellow, like you're just like that's immediately pops into your head. Oh, that's Eric Cartman. That's Eric Cartman. It's identifiable.
Yep.
I gotta go Cartman, guys.
I think you do too.
I hate to say that to Phoebe Buffay because I like Phoebe Buffay.
No, it's a great character.
But I got to go Eric Cartman.
I feel like she would be a very high maintenance friend, and I'd rather have
Jenna, you're going Cartman?
I'm going Cartman.
You're going Cartman? All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cartman moves on. All right, next up, Zach Morris.
Oh, gosh.
He
Saved by the Bell versus Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion. No question.
Tyrion would cut
Oh gosh, we're gonna end up with Tyrion versus
Yeah,
Ron,
but
and this
Zach,
is not good.
but Zach is like that friend you had. Like he was just in that right age group to where it was like those guys felt like they were part of your crew. Like you were like tuning into another part of your crew. Like these guys were cool like that because they had the dork and Screech. Right, they had the smart one in Jesse. Yeah. They had the what's her name?
Kelly Kapowski.
Kelly Kapowski, right there.
Why do I remember all
Tiffany
of this?
Oh yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Do you remember Tori? I hated Tori.
Tori, yeah.
I hated Tori. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fair.
He just comes off as a creep. Like when you watch that show, you could see him getting a girl drunk and taking advantage of her.
I liked him better in the college years, which is worse or weird because you think it'd go the other way. You should get that.
Plus, who's the lady, Leah Remini? I get to see the first days of Leah Remini when she was the girlfriend for Zach. Like, come on, man. But then again, really, really tough to disagree with Tyrion Lannister.
Forget that wedding in Hawaii.
But I'm just saying, Tyrion Lannister. Yeah, the fireworks are going off. They had their kiss. Yeah. For sure. See, dude, that's what I'm saying.
Mr. Belding.
Right.
But Tyrion Lannister.
Oh, I'm still all over Tyrion Lannister.
That's just a different level. It's a different level of character. I gotta go Tyrion. I gotta go Tyrion. I gotta go Tyrion.
Yeah, that's a hardcore dude.
I gotta go Tyrion.
Gosh,
okay.
You're so smart.
Barney Stinson versus Michael Scott.
Ooh.
I think I got to go Michael Scott. I liked The Office. I didn't really get into the English version of it too much. It was okay, but I really liked The American Office. It was a good show.
The American Office, to me, is funnier.
It's way funnier. It's way funnier. I tried to watch 2 seasons of the English, the British one, and very
British humor.
It's very dry, very dry. But then you're also dealing with the Ricky Gervais aspect of it. It's like he's such a well-known actor and comedian. It's just kind of like you still see Ricky Gervais, even though he's trying to come off as this other awkward character.
I mean, when you watch The Office, is there any better individual show in any show ever than the Fire Drill show?
No.
Come on. Like that might be the best.
Or the one where they go and they do
ever.
the one where they go and do the team building exercises with the fire with the fire at the end of it, the fire pit or whatever. You got to walk across the fire, the coals. I'm gonna go Michael Scott.
I am gonna go Michael Scott. As well.
You are too.
We're gonna have to make
so Michael Scott gets into this. You've got to get to the office.
I've been told to watch.
You really
Even
do.
If you really fast forward to the fire drill scene.
You really do.
Fire drill episode.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is where we are at. Currently, we have Ron Swanson going up against Eric Cartman.
What? Oh, I'm getting my coin app.
For yourself? You need to pull it. Usually, no, Jenna, this is funny.
Is it a Dogecoin?
It's a gentleman.
No, it's an app that flips a coin for us because we sometimes don't have change in our pockets. And so we needed to use it literally for the show.
Yeah. Very nice.
For when we were doing the tournaments of pop culture like this, and we don't have a third. So that's how we do it. We do it via coin flip. And
I'm going to see what I would think.
This is tough. If I have to choose, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I have quoted Cartman more than Ron Swanson.
For sure,
I have quoted Ron Swanson, but I've quoted Cartman more than Ron Swanson. I know that for a fact.
What is our criteria? Who we think had the biggest impact, or who we just like?
Yeah. It's more like you show.
Well, I think it's the best overall television character, like the one that. The embodiment is so realistic, is so dead on, is so just that is who that is. Like they don't.
I mean, you really do have to take the show as part of it because a lot
to
of
me,
it
The
is
Rock can be in a million movies, but he'll always be the guy who's going to slap your candy ass.
Yeah,
do you see my point? Like he's that guy.
That made it harder, but
All right, wait, hold on. Before you do it, take some time. Take some time. I know this is tough. I said that I'm probably, I've got, you know what? I'm really leaning towards Cartman, but we're not going to be able to figure this out before we hit the break. Okay? So I want you guys to take a second, hold back, let us think about this. Maybe I should think about the haunted nightmare field in Brookdale Farms, the field of nightmares that we're going to be at later on.
And what's the jazz saxophone guy he is? What's the name of that guy? I forget the name of that. Duke something or other or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. He's got his own jet. Yeah, and he's well known.
He goes
for
to
it.
the other town and plays.
Right, yeah, he's really well known for it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Look that up
That is
during the break.
fantastic. That's a great, but see, that's great. That's great. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the Q Now, all of this, Jenna Roberson, she's going to tell us exactly who she likes, Ron Swanson or Cartman. We'll be back right after this.
If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot, but not for Louisiana man.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are in the final four of this bracket, the final bracket, and then we will have our moving on to the championship champion of this bracket.
Yeah.
And then we will do the championship next week of the final four of all of the best TV
This
characters
one's strong.
of all
This one
time.
has a chance.
This has got some strongness to it. We have Eric Cartman from South Park, going up against Ron Swanson.
Yes.
On the clock currently is Jason Cull.
I have flipped my coin, and I am okay with my answer.
What is your answer, sir?
My answer may void Jenna's answer, though.
It's possible. We
It's
will
possible.
see.
Well, she's not gonna have a chance because my answer is Cartman.
Your answer is Eric
Yeah.
Cartman, and I said
You said you were
that I
leaning
might.
Cartman,
I said I was leaning Cartman.
but you look very close to it, so I think
I was
might have
leaning
to throw a
Cartman.
monkey
Now,
wrench in the
Jenna,
situation.
where are you going? You've thought about it during the break.
I've got the libertarian character against the libertarian show writers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a tough
That's
one.
a tough one. That is a tough one.
And while I do appreciate the humor in South Park and I grew up on it, I have to go with Mr. Ron Swanson.
Okay,
You're going
There you
Ron
go.
Going Ron
Swanson.
Swanson.
Yeah, you put Mark.
All right, you put me in the hot seat.
Right?
Gotta keep it
All right,
interesting.
ladies and gentlemen. If I have to choose here,
It's like calling Trump for Mark. Like, Spades, you got it. Get up.
I think I'm going to lean Cartman. I think I'm going to go Eric Cartman.
I'm
I
not
think
mad.
that's okay.
I'm
That's
not
okay.
mad.
I mean, he's 25 plus years in, 26,
Right.
27.
I mean, this
so
dude is iconic. This dude is iconic.
He's been
He
there.
is.
He's been
Tyrion Lannister versus Michael Scott and the Michael Scott Paper Company. Now, Michael Scott is an amazing character, and if you've never seen it, which is
Right.
fine,
It's classic that they sell paper. That's just fantastic.
Scranton,
I
right?
think I think the better acted. Well, see, that's the funny thing. Michael Scott is so identifiable with Steve Carell. Like, it was so well acted.
Game of
It's
Thrones is
basically
like-
the same
like a movie.
person. And Tyrion Lannister is so identifiable with Peter Dinklage, like it's just Tyrion is just Peter Dinklage. There is no one who benefits in that heads up right there. So now I got to figure out, like, Michael Scott made me laugh a million times. Tyrion made me think really deep. Like, I love that playing with the idea. It's politics. It's politics. It's just old world politics is all it is. And I love watching how that played out with the imp. Like, I thought it was just a really well done character. That's a really tough choice for me. Shoot, man. I don't know.
Watch it.
What do you think? What do you got, Jay?
I am good because I haven't seen.
Well, let's see where Jenna
everything.
goes. Let's see where Jenna goes. Jenna, where do you go first?
And let's stare at her. What she
Stare at her.
Stare me all that you want. I'm going with Tyrion. I
Okay,
ride or die with Tyrion.
He's ride or die with Tyrion
Ride or
Lannister.
die
That's
with
fair.
Tyrion.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a character that you could ride or die with, though, because that's a dark horse. That can always dark horse.
Yep.
Hey, listen.
He's smart.
Kenny
He
Powers.
treats women with respect.
Kenny
for the
Powers.
most part.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. Kenny Powers.
I own all of the Game of Thrones seasons on Blu-rays before there was a Max.
All right.
But I haven't seen them all.
And you know,
I also
much of the last
own
season.
The Office.
It was terrible.
And I've seen them all.
All right.
So I think I'm going to have to go Michael Scott.
He's going Michael Scott and the Michael Scott Paper Company. You're going to go Tyrion Lannister
as well.
Yes, sir.
This is really tough. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, out there in Radio Land, if you're listening, WIBH, KYR, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at in the world, you could be listening in Miami right now. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll make my pick. Remember the episode where Michael Scott goes to meet his former boss and he's going to start a band with his 8-year-old son?
Remember the time when Tyrion Lannister saved everybody by lighting dragon's breath on fire in the battle of
That's
Victor?
awesome.
Right?
Such an awesome moment, too.
It was a fantastic. And also the fact that he protected Sansa Stark from the crazy men.
And he also ends up at the end, kind of sitting on the throne.
Look at what he overcame. An abusive father that ignored him, a dead mother, incestuous twin brothers and sisters, and
she's laying out a decent cake for Michael Scott.
Michael Scott once drove into a pond because his GPS told him to.
I can't fight with this. I've never seen the show.
Michael Scott, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I love you, Tyrion, but I gotta go Michael Scott.
I tried.
That's too much.
He was so smart.
You are gonna. I'm jealous of the fact that you have the ability to see
watch
The
it for the
Office
first time.
For the first time.
My goodness,
dude, that is such goodness.
If you don't have Peacock, sign up real quick. There you go. Go home. Watch it.
We're in the final. Ron Swanson, another one she wrote or died with, died. Tyrion Lannister, she wrote or died with, died.
Maybe I'm not the best.
But now she has to choose.
Didn't have a lot of medicine.
She has to choose out of her enemies. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right? Matt Gaetz.
So exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking like them now.
Right?
Eric Cartman and his libertarian writers versus Michael Scott and his capitalistic Trump-loving philosophies. Now, he's not as deep as Ron.
No.
But he's the capitalist. Like, his thing is always being the staunch general manager that plays everything by the book.
How'd that work out for him?
It didn't.
It did.
Moved on.
It moved on a bunch of times. What about, dude, when he started the Michael Scott Paper Company, then they were just an office with a phone on the floor. And then he's just yelling at her to, like, pick the phone up. Oh, my goodness. But then there's Cartman. Cartman's done so many things. He got into an argument with Bart Simpson live on the show. Like, he told him that he sucked. He told him to eat his shorts, and he told him to suck his balls or whatever it was.
He almost made out with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he almost made out with it, but Diddy did it. Remember Diddy did it? Because Diddy did it first?
Yeah.
Diddy did it first. He kept shooting everything. It was Biggie Smalls, and Diddy did it first. Like, Eric Cartman's got some of the most classic things ever. This is really tough, ladies and gentlemen. Jay, what are you thinking? Actually, I'm interested. Gianna, what are you thinking? See, you're sitting there, and these are both people you didn't pick in the first place. So I'm not saying that you're against them, but you probably you haven't seen The Office, so that's a tough one for you.
That is.
Cartman, though, you know.
I do know. Grew up with him.
You do know Cartman, and picking a Cartman is not a bad choice because I feel like Cartman is definitely of the caliber to go up against some of the others that will be in the championship. So whoever wins here is going to the championship against these others that we know that you don't know at home. You're going to have to go listen to the other shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that win, I don't want it to influence any of you listening fresh on the air right now.
And you know what? Except for maybe Chef, Cartman is the only one from that show that deserves to be on this list. Because the other ones are just sort of generic.
I bet you Cartman's the reason that show's won Emmys.
Right? I mean, Stan, Kyle, they're great. They're the straight guys to everything crazy on there.
Yeah.
But they're not great characters. They're just regular guys.
Right. Cartman stands out. Like a Kramer. Like a Cosmo Kramer. Like big time.
In a crowd of good people.
But so does Michael Scott. Like, he really sticks out like a Cosmo Kramer, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Cartman stands out, but really only Chef battles him for craziness. Michael Scott has the Pam and Jim love. He's
got all kinds of things he's battling
Dwight
against.
Schrute. He's got...
Cartman has to battle with Kenny always dying, and that's always pretty good.
That is true.
We always get Stan or Kyle and their girlfriends always getting into... What was the one thing that the women had to do it? They tried to create the all-boys crew. That would women had to bow down to them or whatever it was. Remember the Warcraft episode where they went and played World of Warcraft and they were all getting fat and had zits all over them and they were playing the computers and stuff? See, and that's the thing. I've quoted Cartman more than Michael Scott.
Too. And there's 2.5 times as many seasons.
I think I'm going to go Eric Cartman.
I think I am too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think the winner of this tournament of pop culture and this fourth bracket going on to the championship to battle out with some other classics is one Eric Cartman.
Still think you guys
South Park. What a
dirty. And Ron.
But that's okay. That's okay because Jenna, this is not the last time that you'll be on the show. I can see that you'll be on the show again at some point in the future. When we have you back on, maybe we'll do a ranker review with her. Maybe we'll do a different show. Yeah, it's a different game that we like to play. Maybe we'll do another tournament of pop culture. That one could be about fast food cereals. We've done all kinds of different things.
Yeah, we do daily ones as well where they're done on the one show.
Yeah, we can do them all in one show. Like we can all this done. But hey, listen, before you get out of here, because I know that took longer than we expected, I want to at least try to give you a couple of questions from our hot seat.
All right.
This is where people get to know you a little bit better. And there's no right or wrong answer. Just give us an answer off the top of your head. And it's only 5 questions long. So, have fun with it however you see fit. Okay?
All right. Hit me
Fair
with
enough.
it.
And you didn't know this was happening, right?
I did not.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What's a dead giveaway that someone doesn't really have a life? In your opinion, what's a dead giveaway? Someone doesn't have a life.
Multiple Facebook accounts listed under regular names, student names, and elected office names.
That is
okay. That's a pretty
specific. Yes, it is.
Pretty specific. That's pretty specific. Nick Shore. Okay. Was it Nick Shore? Was it Nick Shore?
It was not Nick Shore.
Oh, could it be? Could it be? Could it be? It always could be. It always could be.
I'm sure he has another one. I'll find that one.
He probably does. All I know is
here we
he
go.
doesn't spend a whole lot of time with his family based on his social media posts.
Question number 2. What is something you think is really bad for the body, but people keep doing it anyway? What is something you think is really bad for the body?
Feels like it would be, right?
Running.
You think running's bad for the body?
I think it's terrible for your joints.
Shaking and pounding.
I think you're right. I think that, to do that often, but then again, the body does respond when you run to getting more in shape, the muscles strengthen. So it's not like the body is doing something against its own. But I think that's fair. Sure, your answer.
In all fairness, I couldn't name something that I did do because
no,
I'd
that's
be
fair.
hypocrite.
No, it's fantastic. I understand what you're saying. You know what? And like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. The answers are yours. Question number 3. What's an addiction that people might not realize they have? What's an addiction that you've noticed that people might not realize? And I got a great one.
Ooh.
The internet.
I was going to say.
I think the internet is.
Social media?
I think social media could be another section of that. We can deep dive. I think that there are
Christmas
some
movies.
Because we've talked about internet as an addiction on the show before.
Sure.
Instant gratification is all it is. People are addicted to that. The adrenaline, outrage.
That YouTube quickness.
I'm going to type something I believe.
It's even quicker now. On TikTok, you can swipe on your own as fast as you want, or as slow as you want. Do you see what I'm saying? All these apps are now your own speed. It's not even, hey, they're feeding it to you. Question number 4. What song just emotionally destroys you every time you hear it?
Oh my goodness.
Miss Roberson. What
I'm trying to think what destroys
song
me.
emotionally destroys? For me, it's Angels Among Us. What do you got?
Wind Beneath My Wings.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. Bette Midler. When I hear it, hey, listen. When I hear it, because I hear what she sings about, it does break me up a little bit too. I remember the movie. I remember it was a big deal.
I remember seeing the funeral and her poor little daughter. Oh gosh, yes. Okay, yes, that one every time.
That's a definite chick flick from the 1980s.
It is.
That is a chick flick.
Yeah.
All right, question number 5 and the final question. What is something that you are starting to dislike as you get older?
People.
Fair enough, ladies and gentlemen. Jenna Roberson has done the QNow hot seat. We appreciate you coming on our show, Jenna, talking to us. If there's anything, and we didn't get into a lot of discussion about the politics that you're dealing with specifically in the state of Missouri. I feel like we should have you back on soon, within the next few months, so that you can discuss with us some of your platforms, some of the things that you want to talk about, and in regards to you, I wanted this show as a way to introduce the people to Jenna, and so that they had a chance to see you. Like, we talked a little politics. We got into your head a little bit about this, but we also want to have some fun with you, and we appreciate you sitting on the hot seat and doing that with us. Is there anywhere where people can find out more about your campaign that you are currently running and stuff like that?
Absolutely. You can find me. I have Twitter and Facebook, and they're both at Jenna. Facebook, is at Jenna4 with F-O-R spelled out, Mo, and Twitter is at Jenna4Mo with the number 4.
Gotcha.
So you can find me on either of those. The website's still coming around. Last cycle I used what the House Caucus provided for us as candidates, so I'm still working on getting that going, but you can find me on social media with your addictions, and it's wild, right? It's going to be wild.
Is what the House Caucus gets for you? I guess that'd be the Liberal or the Democratic House Caucus.
Yes, the House Democratic Caucus.
They get you what, an email address or some way of conversation? The
email address is mine, but they do supply us. It's written off on our MEC as a donation. Sure. They provide us. It's through UpBallot, so it's a free website with.
It's an email address or whatever?
No, the email address I do have separate. My email address is Jenna at Jenna4, F-O-R, Missouri spelled out.com.
Oh, I didn't know if the House Caucus might offer you guys up like a .gov email address.
Oh, no, you don't get those unless you're elected.
Oh, that's true. I guess I wasn't thinking about that correctly.
We're gonna get her one.
We're gonna get you one anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you one. Yeah, you're gonna sign up for it. You're gonna just get one, and then the day when you get it, we're just gonna make you sign something.
That's right.
All right, Jenna Roberson, thank you so much for being on the QNow. We really appreciate it. It's time for us to get out of here on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to Jason Call, as always.
Thanks, Jason.
And you can always check us out at theqnow.com. Old episodes, new episodes, and everything in between. We will see you guys next time on the show.